Something is seriously wrong with fast food.
McDonald's is not hit how it used to be, bro.
It's some vile slop.
McDonald's has been going downhill in quality, and the prices are astronomical.
So there's been a lot of cost pressure, which in part has led to some of the price increases that you're seeing as well.
Some bad news this morning for Chipotle customers. The burrito chain announced Wednesday that it has raised prices.
There's a social convention of how much you can charge. It kind of exceeded that.
We're all vying for share of wallet with the same consumer. I can't say we wouldn't ever pass those costs off to the consumer because pricing becomes permanent.
What used to be an easy and cheap option has morphed into a low-quality, overpriced mess that not even the CEOs of these fast food companies can stomach to take more than a single bite of.
That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch.
Almost worse than the taste and quality declining, this shit is more expensive than ever. It costs $7 for a single burger from McDonald's that was worth $4.50 in 2019. Meanwhile, the corporate slop lords that ruined Chipotle raised the price of a burrito bowl with chicken from $6.50 to $11.80. But perhaps none of them are as greedy as Yum Brands, the owner of Taco Bell.
We are always going to provide great value to consumers, but in this environment, an inflationary environment, we know that we have room to take price, and we have other levers that we can pull.
The Doritos Locos Taco debuted in 2012 and was valued at just $1.29. Nowadays, it can be sold for up to $4. That's right, $4 for a single taco from Taco Bell. These companies blame the rising prices on things like inflation and supply chain costs. But in actuality, it's just become one long experiment in economic elasticity. The concept is, how much can we physically get someone to pay for a single cheeseburger? McDonald's is now partnering with Klarna, so you can pay in installments for your cheeseburger. Purchase a subscription to Cheeseburger today at $2.99 a month for 3 months. Interest rates do apply.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's truly dystopian. And it's also actually real and happening. Fast food company stocks have skyrocketed across the board, which means their product is no longer some hot new burger with sauce or chicken in the shape of a taco, but instead a steaming hot boiled frog. And that boiled frog is you. Spending more and more money getting overpriced low-grade fast food ordered on some app like Uber Eats meant to harvest your data. It's time to stop. It's time to break the cycle. It's time to cook.
Let's cook.
So we're gonna make a delicious 3-course meal, taste tested and rated by our panel of experts. Then at the end, we'll compare the prices to their fast food counterparts. Now, I have to point out before we get started that this isn't an attempt to rip off Joshua Weissman's But Better, But Cheaper series. This is an entirely, completely new idea that I came up with right now for no reason at all. Anyway, the sponsor of this video is FlexiSpot chairs. If you're like me and you spend 10 to 12 hours a day at your desk, you know how brutal a bad chair can be. Whether you're working, editing, gaming, or just spending way too much time at the computer, a bad chair will destroy your back. My old one was honestly falling apart. I've been looking for something comfortable and reliable for a long time, so when FlexiSpot reached out and sent me their C7 Max, I was genuinely curious to see if it would make a difference. And honestly, it does. The biggest thing is how adjustable everything is. The 3D headrest tilts back exactly where you need it. It actually supports your neck properly. The backrest heights adjust so it fits your body regardless of height. And the lumbar support is designed differently from most chairs. Instead of just pushing into your lower back, it supports both the lumbar and sacrum, which makes long computer sessions way more comfortable. You can also adjust the seat depth, and the 5D armrests rotate and adjust in multiple directions. The latex memory foam seat cushion is designed for up to 12 hours of sitting, which honestly feels pretty realistic for anyone who spends a lot of time at their desk. A couple other things worth knowing, it comes with a 10-year warranty and a 30-day return policy, so it's pretty low risk to try out. If you want to check it out, use code C750 at checkout to get $50 off. The link is in the description. And if you're on a tighter budget, FlexiSpot's C5 chair is also a solid option. They also just launched the C7 Morpher, which upgrades the lumbar support and upper backrest even further. Links to both are in the description if you want to compare. Jesus Christ, I think I blacked out for a second. Okay, where were we? Yeah, fast food bad. Okay, first course, quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's. Let's go. The quarter pounder with cheese is a very simple burger to make at home. Can you look up how many ounces a quarter pound is?
4.
4 ounces. The first thing you want to do is you just want to scale out 4 ounces of ground beef. Now, a McDonald's cheeseburger is not very crispy, so all you're going to want to do is put your ball of meat right into the pan, turn that heat up, and throw some salt and pepper on there.
Salt and pepper's here!
Then once you start to hear some sound coming out of it, squish it down with your spatula into burger shape. Then once it goes from bubbling to sizzling, you just give it a flip. Toss a slice of American cheese on the flipped side and get your toasted buns ready in the other pan. Then it's as easy as taking the burger, putting it on the bun, and you've got a beautiful quarter pounder with cheese just like they make at McDonald's. We've got the original and we've got the but better version. And Georgie here is going to tell us which one's her favorite, and I'll translate for you guys, obviously. So let's start off with the quarter pounder with cheese. Off rip, it's kind of thinner than I expected. I'm used to seeing it be a little thicker, but let's go in and try it. Ready? It kind of tastes like nothing. It tastes like how McDonald's smells indoors. Georgie, you want a bite? Oh, that's way too big of a bite. What do you think? Okay. Now we're gonna try the other version, okay, George? So here's the other version. We've got a fresh toasted bun, little half smash burger. This tastes like much fresher. It tastes much more like an actual burger to me. I don't know, there's just something about it that tastes like more high quality. You can have a little bite. What do you think? Sit. Very good.
McDonald's earnings rose, but one industry analyst said that with that low-income customer, the industry is down double digits.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the lowest income consumers are decreasing visits double digits. But value is part of McDonald's DNA.
We are still experiencing double-digit inflation. We're trying to be very thoughtful about how quickly we pass on this pricing to consumers.
McDonald's has such heavy accusations of price gouging that they've gone about publishing their own defense of their exorbitant pricing. In that document, McDonald's claims that 20% price increases in the price of their burgers is due to supply chain issues caused by the COVID pandemic. They chart that 20% increase over 5 years. However, the prices jumped another 20% since the publishing of that document in 2024. All American fast food companies who once had a reputation for oversized portions are now shrinking the size of their burgers and fries while raising the prices to keep up with quarterly earnings reports.
If you're upper income, earning over $100,000, things are good.
It's the low-income consumer. That consumer was being much more price discriminating. It is impacting our business in some markets.
Toxic corporate culture has leaked all the way from the top levels of these companies down into even the look of these restaurants. McDonald's used to be iconic with its red roofs and golden arches, but nowadays it looks drab and corporate, so the property can easily be sold and converted into a Starbucks or payday loan center. McDonald's used to invest real money into fun stuff, like the animated Ronald McDonald series that I personally found endearing, and many others called terrifying and unwatchable.
Hey, we made a new friend.
A new friend. The trick's up his sleeve. A new friend that makes hamburgers seem absolutely sweet by comparison.
A new friend that I'd rather have on my side.
McDonald's marketing strategy nowadays is to do high-profile collaborations with companies like Crocs or Minecraft. In the UK, they're even launching a collab with the TV show Friends that ended over 20 years ago.
Your favorite friends are now at Macca's. Joey doesn't share food. Order the Friends meal today.
As a part of that collaboration, you'll be able to get Joey Tribbiani's signature 9-piece chicken nuggets dipped in Monica's marinara. These exclusive collabs make absolutely no sense to me. It's almost like all of these companies are taking their cues from Fortnite, just cramming whatever intellectual property they can into an already cluttered game just to get people to spend money on something that they probably shouldn't spend money on.
Skibidi Toilet has arrived in Fortnite and you get to see it.
And just like these fast food companies, big surprise, Fortnite is also inflating their prices for absolutely no reason.
Fortnite V-Bucks price change!
I feel like I'm at the point where my brain is so broken that I can't have a simple Chipotle meal without thinking about how fucked we all are.
I used to love Chipotle. Lately, Chipotle have not hit the same. I don't taste much flavor. Everything is freezing cold. When I say freezing cold, this tastes like it was in the refrigerator. In my opinion, this is a 2 out of 10.
Chipotle actually used to be owned by McDonald's for a number of years. And during that time, it wasn't half bad. But after McDonald's divested from Chipotle and it became controlled by majority shareholders BlackRock and the Vanguard Group, guess what happened? Their quality fell to shit and their prices skyrocketed. At the same time, their stock became a highly contested property on Wall Street.
I think the stock's a buy. It's the best run, and I trust them. I would buy Chipotle.
For months, stock reporters raved about the success of Chipotle stock on TV, which, if you know anything about stock reporting, that's a terrible omen. Around the same time, frequent Chipotle customers started taking note of the quality issues and, more importantly, the protein portion sizes.
Chipotle, what in the hell is this? Because I need someone to explain to me how this is a burrito.
Chipotle, money, come here, boy. Come here, Chip. Come here. Good job, good job. Good boy, here's a little treat for you. Okay, pay attention with me now, all right? Let's pretend that these 4 quarters are the equivalent to 4 ounces of protein at your restaurant. And we want to make sure that you're getting the same amount of money in your piggy bank as we're getting protein in our little bowls.
The Chipotle subreddit has become a hotbed for this kind of discussion, with users posting pictures of their pitiful burrito bowls and offering advice to anyone going to Chipotle on how to get your money's worth.
Apparently, if you film while ordering at Chipotle, they'll give you more food, so I'm gonna put that to the test.
Hi, thank you. I feel like they're avoiding me right now.
Can I get a bowl, please? Can I get white rice? Oh, hell no. What is that? Yo, crew? Yeah, crew. Yeah, hold up. No, yeah. Okay, yeah, I need an extra scoop in there. I need an extra scoop, please.
The whole thing's a little silly. It actually kind of really bums me out when people, frankly, do this videoing thing, because it's like, it's a little rude to our team members. And, our team members, their desire is to give our customer a great experience.
Your local Chipotle worker, they're working their tail off every day, and God bless them.
This type of film the police style Chipotle content got so much attention that even the Chipotle CEO publicly denied there are any portion size issues.
First, I can tell you the portions have not gotten smaller.
You've not shrunk the portions.
No, we never have. Like, from the beginning of time with Chipotle, I think there were billboards that said burritos as big as your head. Like, that's never changed.
But the photos on the Chipotle subreddit just don't lie. The portion sizes are getting smaller, while the price has inflated to twice its original price. The next matchup is going to be the Chipotle Burrito Bowl. Making the Chipotle Burrito Bowl at home can vary based on what your preference is, but I'm going to build my ideal bowl. Okay, so the first step is making the corn salsa. So first take the poblano pepper and put it right on the burner. Burn it on all sides until the skin is completely black, and then just put it inside of a plastic bag. But don't do it right away, I think. I don't know if that's good for you. Once it's had time to steam in the plastic bag for a little while, mush it all over to get the black charred bits off. Then remove the stems and slice that roasted poblano pepper into small cubes. Take those small green cubes and put them in a deli cup with some chopped red onion and 2 chopped and seeded jalapeno peppers. Add the corn, some cilantro, and salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper's here!
Give it a half a squeeze of lime and a half a squeeze of lemon. Pop the lid of the deli cup on and just start shaking the fuck out of it. For the beans, I just chopped up half a red onion, tossed it in a pan with some olive oil, and added a spoonful of that better than bouillon stuff. And then I added 2 cans of strained black beans. Add enough water to cover the beans, give it a stir, and leave it on low for like 45 minutes. The Chipotle cilantro lime rice is very easy to make. I just took 2 cups of white rice, 2 cups of water, and a splash of olive oil, tossed it in the rice cooker. Then I took a bunch of cilantro and whatever limes and lemons I had left. Oh, and some salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper's here!
And give it a good blend with the immersion blender. Now once the rice is ready, pour the lime and cilantro mixture over the rice and give it a good fluffing. For the chicken, Chipotle uses boneless chicken thighs. Now if you have that, that's great, but I opted for the bone-in ones here. Chipotle also grills their chicken right on the grill, but for the sake of making this easy, we're gonna cook it in the oven. So in a deli cup, take a halved jalapeno with the seeds inside if you want it spicy, some cilantro stems, 2 cloves of garlic, some garlic powder, some onion powder, as many different chili powders as you have, some ground cumin, and some salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper's here.
Then you cover it up with some olive oil and give it a blend with the immersion blender. At the end, you'll have a thick marinade that you'll be able to put over the chicken. Now you can let it rest overnight, or you can just pop it right in the oven at 350 degrees. Once the chicken's looking crispy enough, take it out and put it on a cutting board to rest for a minute. Once the chicken's rested, you can cut it up into bite-sized pieces and store it in a deli cup. The Chipotle queso is always lukewarm. It never tastes good. You always have to heat up your bowl when you take it home, but it's very important to me to make a good queso here. And to show you how easy it is to make it home, because so many YouTubers are telling you that you have to shred your own cheese and do all this type of stuff that you just don't have to do. It's so easy to make your own queso. All you need is a can of evaporated milk. You start warming up the can of evaporated milk in a pan. As it's warming up, add 5 slices of American cheese to the mix. And once those start to melt, you can start adding a couple handfuls of shredded cheese at a time. Keep stirring it until the cheese starts to melt. You want to maintain that beautiful, silky, slim queso texture. And around that time, you add the can of diced green chilies. The diced green chilies are a very important part of the queso. They give it that classic queso flavor that we all know. Now, once that's all looking smooth enough, you want to add a little bit of salt. So now it's assembly time. We've got cilantro lime rice, some slow cooked black beans, the chopped oven baked Chipotle chicken. Make sure you add that double protein, the corn salsa, white queso, and there you have an exact copy of my order from Chipotle. So here we have some Chipotle. The chicken is so it looks almost boiled to me. Like it looks marinated, yes, but there used to be so much more color. There used to be like black bits and little crispy parts on the Chipotle chicken, and now it just kind of is always like this bland, paler color. Nonetheless, we're gonna kind of mush it around here and go in for a bite. We want to get like a perfect little sample size of this. I won't lie, it does hit like in a specific way, that like Chipotle taste. Of all of the matchups, I think this is gonna be the toughest one. Georgie, I'm only gonna let you try a little piece of chicken here. I'm only gonna let you try a little piece of chicken. There you go. Very nice. Now let's try this version. There's about a similar bite to what we had from the Chipotle one. Here's the thing. We'll let Georgie try a little bit. There you go. Okay. My version of the Chipotle burrito bowl tastes fresher to me. It tastes like the ingredients have more of like a pop and a brightness to them, even with the heaviness of the queso. I would say the flavor of the chicken I have better, but there's something about the Chipotle burrito bowl. I don't know what it is. It's got this like fragrance to it that I don't quite have here. Let me compare one more time. Yeah, theirs is a little saltier than mine. I would say it's about as one-to-one as you can get though.
Taco Bell, you've got to bring the prices down.
Bro, Taco Bell, I gotta have a meeting with the CEO or something. Y'all gotta lower them prices, bro, like dead ass.
Taco Bell used to be one of the best priced options for fast food. You'd walk out of there with a bag full of one of everything on the menu, and you only spent about $10. But now, 3 tacos are $12. Taco Bell doesn't care about being a cheap option anymore though, because they have something far more valuable to people now. Taco Bell has become the go-to fast food restaurant for the Gen Z and Gen Alpha age group that companies like McDonald's are trying so hard to reach.
The brands that break through speak to somebody specifically. Who we speak to is somebody we call the cultural rebel, somebody who is pushing trends forward, who is changing the game.
What age is the cultural rebel? Tell me more about the cultural
We'll call it epicenter Gen Z. When you think of Gen Z, we call it 18 to 30 Gen Z.
And Taco Bell doesn't even do it with collab menu items. Instead, they're just constantly changing their menu and doing hypebeast events for social media. Just a few days ago, Taco Bell announced a sweet crunch wrap and edible sauce packets. These items aren't meant to actually stay on the menu. Instead, they play on the hype of something fresh, creative, and new to convince you to come try it before they scrap it and move on to the next idea, like a cheesy burrito filled with nacho fries or something like that. Actually, that sounds really fucking good. Our final matchup is the Doritos Locos Taco from Taco Bell. Now, when I set out to make this video, I originally thought that it would be really difficult for me to make one of these at home. But in actuality, these turned out to be even easier than the quarter pounder with cheese. The first component of the Doritos Locos Taco is the shell. In this case, for the shells, I bought an Old El Paso nacho cheese taco shell. The next component of the Doritos Locos Taco is very easy. Chop up some rinsed lettuce. The next component of the Doritos Locos Taco is the most important, the beef. Now, Taco Bell sells a lot of different seasoning packets that you can get, but all of those pre-made seasoning packets pretty much offer the same things that you have in your home kitchen. So first, turn the stove on high, add the whole chunk of meat directly into the pan, and hit it with some salt and pepper.
Ow! There it is! Salt and pepper's here!
And just start adding the next spices in rapid fire. Garlic powder, onion powder, ground cumin, every chili powder you have. Dark chili powder is very important. Once you've got all the spices on the meat, start breaking everything up with the spatula. Keep breaking it apart and cooking the meat on high. Then sprinkle 1/3 cup of flour over the ground meat. Now once everything starts to take on a dried dog food consistency, add enough water to completely cover everything. Now bring it to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and keep stirring it intermittently until most of the water cooks out. Now once you can run a spoon through it and the gap doesn't immediately close back up, it's ready to serve. And serving is very easy. Take a toasted taco shell, add a couple spoonfuls of meat, some shredded lettuce, and of course the Taco Bell signature of putting the shredded cheese on top of the shredded lettuce. I don't know why they do this, but it does make it better. Moving on to the final matchup, and this is probably the most difficult matchup of them all. The Doritos Locos Taco is not something that you would think you could actually make at home. I know you're really excited. I think the one we made here is really like, let's take the Taco Bell one out to compare. I mean, it's very, very similar. It's very, very similar. All right, let me go in. Okay, you wanna have some? Now let's try the at-home version. When I take a bite, excuse me, when I take a bite of the Taco Bell version of the Doritos Locos Taco, the first thing I taste is this like fast food lettuce flavor. And the meat's just a little drier. Like my version, the meat is like a little saucier. The Taco Bell version is very much just like a texture with like the sensation of Dorito. I would say my version takes the cake here.
I feel like fast food is crazy, crazy, crazy expensive now. It's so expensive now. I don't even want to go anymore.
It feels right now that the prices of everything are at their peak for consumers. But at the same time, I wonder how much more the price of seemingly cheap things like a taco or a burger will increase as time goes on. Why would they ever lower prices when we've already proven that we'd gladly pay $25 in a single visit to one of their establishments? And that we'll even sign up for an app so they can send direct pings to our phones and pinpoint the exact moments you're gonna make a decision about what to eat so that you'll pick them. Again, this is all totally legal and also totally not dystopian. Now let's break down the financials of everything. My quarter pounder with cheese was $7.17 from McDonald's. The ingredients I needed to make my own quarter pounder with cheese at home cost me $14. So for the price of the meat that I purchased alone, I'm able to have 4 quarter pounders, versus at McDonald's that would have cost me over $28. My burrito bowl from Chipotle cost a whopping $14.81. All of the ingredients for me to make my perfect Chipotle burrito bowl at home added up to $19. Off of that $19 I spent, I was able to have 5 burrito bowls. Those 5 burrito bowls from Chipotle would have costed me $74. But it's okay because I'd be halfway to getting a free entree from my corporate slop lords in the Chipotle app. Now, Taco Bell, I think, was the biggest blowout here. I said this a bunch of times, but a Doritos Locos Taco is $4. If I count the cost of the shredded cheese that I already had, it costs $16 for the ingredients to make the Doritos Locos Taco. However, you get 10 taco shells out of that. Plus, you can use the ground beef to make a number of different Taco Bell classics. But just going off of the 10 taco shells, those same 10 tacos would cost you $40 from Taco Bell. So it's clear that at every single matchup, it's way cheaper to cook this stuff at home. And those leftovers, reheated in the microwave for the next few days, still taste way better than the fresh version of their fast food counterpart. One thing I noticed after putting together this whole video is that these fast food CEOs share something in common. They're all trying to prioritize high-income customers right now, when that's kind of the opposite of what fast food is for.
We learned that 60% of our core users are over $100,000 a year in income, in average household income. That gives us confidence that we can lean into that group in a more meaningful way, whether it's the solo occasion and or group occasions, to really drive meaningful transaction performance in the year.
We try to offer more premium items as well. For somebody who's maybe able to spend more money, because that wealthier consumer right now isn't feeling under a lot of pressure. It's just, this isn't like what we saw in the Great Recession, where that consumer, everybody was trading down. Right now, again, if you're upper income, you're feeling pretty good about things, and so we're not seeing as pronounced a trade down effect this time around.
I think the whole point of this video is to show you that you don't actually need to get takeout from any of these fast food places. Make it at home in advance, meal prep it, or even better, go to a small restaurant and spend $25 there. They could use your business way more than McDonald's does.